Right, so we're going to today look at how to tie one of my favourite rigs, blowback rig. Quite basic rig really, but it has caught me a lot of fish. It's caught me different species, catfish, carp, tench, and unfortunately it's also pretty good at catching bream. But let's go through how we tie it. Right, first of all, you want a length of braid. My personal choice is a coated braid of a semi-stiff variety. So you've got your length of braid, now you want to strip back a couple of inches. Remove that coating completely, like so. So now you have the coated area and you have a strip back area. Then you want to tie yourself a little loop, so when you come to it, you can put your bait stop in and attach your bait. Loops can be fiddly, I've found, using a baiting needle, just to help you thread it through. Is a good trick. There you go. Perfect little loop at the end. Trim down that. These scissors aren't the sharpest, I've had them a couple of years, so this could take a while. Come on. There we go. So yeah, so that's your starting point. Next, you want your silicone. This silicone, it's pole float silicone. It's hollow, so it does the same job as hook silicone pretty much. As long as you can get the line and, well, the braid in this case, and the hook through it, you're laughing. But I've already cut a piece of that. Just here, if I can pick it up, there we go. And now, you want to make sure you've got a nice clean cut on the end. And thread this through the silicone. It's a bit fiddly, but it can be done. He says it's quite a fiddly process to get the silicone on, but once it's on, it's on. Once you get it through a bit, you can just grip the braid with your teeth and pull the silicone down till the silicone is on the stripped area of the braid. Next, you want your hook. In this instance, I'm using a size 4 wide gape T straight point hook from Rigworks. Love these hooks, sharp as anything out the packet, and they stay sharp. I've used them on the river when I've done a night for barbel, and the rods were out all night without a touch, rolling around in the current. But when I brought the hooks in, the hook points weren't rolled, they were still sharp as if they'd just come out of the packet. Quality hooks. But just get one of these out. Size 4, there we go. So, size 4, then you want to thread the hook onto the elastic as well, without puncturing the hook through the braid, because that does cause a bit of difficulty. But it's easier said than done, I suppose, because once again I'm struggling. That hook. So you thread the silicone down over the hook shank, like so. Then you can set your hair to the length that you want it. Because I fish it with a snowman, generally about that long will be ideal for me personally. Thread your braid through the back of the hook, like so. And then now it's 5 or 6 turns around the hook, and then thread it back through the eye, from the back of course, so the braid pulls out through the front, and then you pull you tight, like so. Next you'll want your shrink tubing, once again, Rigworks shrink tubing. I've already cut myself a length of this as well. So you take your shrink tubing, slide that down the braid, just pull it over the eye and the knot, and then you will need to steam that afterwards to shrink the shrink tubing of course, but also if you steam at an angle it creates a kicker for the rig. Now I connect my rigs to the swivel using a loop, so I put the loop through the swivel and then pass the hook through the loop so it's lassoed on. I prefer to use I do this instead of an anti-tangle sleeve as doubled over coated braid, sort of kicks away anyway, but I do this using a figure of 8 loop knot. So I'll create a loop, I double it over to create a loop and wrap it round so it creates another loop, twist that loop and then pass the end back through if you can. Then pull tight. And then just trim back that tag end. There you go. Once that's steamed and you've shrunk the shrink tube to create a kicker, with steam from the kettle is the easiest way. And then yeah, so that's basically it. That one, all that needs doing now is steaming the shrink tube and that's done. Then just attach bait and off you go. Alright, thanks for watching. This is the finished product. Here we have a few of the fish I've caught over the last year using this rig. Quality fish. Thanks for watching.